Oh, this video is going to be so controversial. I just know it's going to be so controversial. So shout out to Liam Henshaw on Twitter who came up with this idea for me unintentionally. He decided to do a tweet saying pick the best championship 11 using only one player per club. He also added the clause of no Fulham or Bournemouth players. I have done that, but yeah, it's still very difficult to do, to be quite honest. These are not the best players from each club. They're just the right player that fits the right position, really. And yeah, that's just why it's controversial, because you're going to say to me, well, why did you pick Spence, which I have done? Why did you pick Spence? Why don't you pick Johnson instead? Why don't you pick Yates? Why don't you pick McKenna? I can only pick one of them. Quick mention first of all, if you do enjoy this video, then please hit the like button on it, subscribe to this remarkable channel behind me. You definitely should.
Johnson, 2-0, come on! They didn't make a brew.
Very entertaining. Very entertaining. You should definitely subscribe. If you haven't, then why the hell not? Who's that? That's Lee Nichols in net for Huddersfield Town and in net in this team. He has got the second best save percentage in the Championship behind Mark Travers of Bournemouth, and he's been one of the biggest reasons this season as to why Huddersfield have been so good. Pulled off some remarkable saves. He's incredibly good at time wasting, and that's not just me talking, Huddersfield fans. That's yourself, because I know a Huddersfield fan, and he literally admitted it to me. Yeah, he's pretty damn good at it. In fact, he's got 6 yellow cards this season, and all of them have been for wasting time. And I saw it firsthand, so I know it's true. Important to note, my formation is 4-3-3. I wanted to play 3 at the back, but for the benefit of this team, I swapped and changed it many times, I can assure you of that. And yeah, I settled on 4 at the back. However, the fullbacks are still wing backs. You can still play wing backs regardless whether you got 2 centre halves or 3. But I wonder who's at right wing back. I'd never bloody guess. I would never guess. Yes! And now I've just alienated every single Middlesbrough fan that's going to say that Asai Jones is better. He's a very good footballer. He's a very nice footballer, as Don would say. Yeah. What can I say? What can I bloody say about Jones Spence? We all know how good he is. We all know how good he is. He just had to be. He just had to be. He just had to be in this team. He's fast. He's technical. He's a nuisance. He is a nuisance for defenders. And when you're getting one of the best young players in the Premier League and Gabriel Martinelli saying he's the toughest opponent he's faced all season, I think that's enough credit, to be quite honest. Other players I considered at right back were Dramer and, to a point, Perry from Cardiff. Both of those from Cardiff. Dramer's done very well since he's joined on Leeds. Perry has been at Cardiff for a number of years now. And obviously I had to consider Asai Jones as well. But of course I'm going to pick Jed. Not because I'm a Forest fan, but because I prefer him. At left back, we've got Ryan Giles from Blackburn Rovers. Why? Because he was the best one that fit. No, he's not the best player at Blackburn. That's Burton Diaz, really, isn't it? Or Rothwell. Or someone other than Ryan Giles. But I know he hasn't been the best at Blackburn either. So that, you know, he's only really in it based off his Cardiff performances, because he isn't that good at Blackburn. However, he's also on loan. He's on loan from Wolves. He's been at Rotherham before now. You know, he's been at loads of clubs on loan. I mean, poor lad, he's played for Rotherham. Like, you know, no one deserves that. He's a very useful player to have. Brilliant crosser. 10 assists this season as well. He can play on the wing, at wing back, and at left back if need be. He can play anywhere along that left hand side, and I just love players like that. The potential left back, and to be quite honest, left back was the hardest position for me to pick. It really was. I considered Max Lowe because I know what he's all about. It would have made it a lot easier, and I could have incorporated Asai Jones, but I thought, as a Forest fan, if I pick Jones ahead of Spence, am I really a Forest fan? No. So yeah, I kind of had to do this. Plus, I think Ryan Giles is decent, and the other options at left back weren't as good. However, the likes of Callum Styles, he's not an out-and-out left back. I shouldn't be saying left back anyway, I should be saying wing back, because he is a wing back. He's also a midfielder, he's also a winger, you know, he can play anywhere. Centre half, Paddy Mcnair. Paddy Mcnair, I'll be honest, he was a late comer because I did not really think about him until late on when I was picking this side, and I did so many different combinations. I initially had Jake Cooper there, but I thought the player that I've got next to him was a staple of this team, in my opinion. But I needed to get one of Paddy Mcnair or maybe even Dale Fry from Borough in this side, and I thought Paddy Mcnair deserved it. He can get quite high up the pitch. He's a set piece taker, by the way, and he's a centre back. He can play in midfield or defensive midfield. The fact that he's only missed 3 games all season, I felt that Paddy Mcnair really deserved to be in this side. My other centre half, it was a bit of a easy decision, to be honest, and like I say, I've swapped and changed this team so much, but this guy remained in the side the whole time. I went for Rob Dickey from QPR. He's just a brilliant all-round defender, a little bit like McKenna and Wall, that kind of player that's just a strong, solid, reliable option. Brilliant long ball technique, and he can score belters. That's something that Wall and McKenna haven't. Well, actually, no, McKenna did it for Aberdeen. He scored a belter from range, but obviously that wasn't when he was with us. But just look at some of the goals that Rob Dickey scored. A lot of them are from outside the penalty box, and he's a defender. It's like, yeah, I'm sitting back at the back, I just want to let loose and just go for it. Okay, to midfield, I've gone for an attacking midfielder with 2 midfielders behind him. So one of these midfielders arguably needs to be slightly more defensive than the other one. Gustavo from Coventry City. He is a bit of a fan favourite at Cov, and to be honest, a player that I quite heavily underappreciated for a very long time. I didn't really watch him that closely at all, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play on a Wednesday against Forest. Hopefully he has an absolute howler though. But my god, what a player. Really, really good player. Great on the ball. He can score from pretty much anywhere. He's not afraid to take a shot. And like I say, he's more defensive minded, but the fact that he can do that is brilliant. Set piece taker as well. That's the second set piece taker we've got in this team as well already, which is great. I completely get why Coventry fans love this guy so much. Offers pretty much everything you want in a defensive midfielder. Morgan Gibbs-White, what a season he's having at Sheffield United. I've seen him play twice in front of me and he scored in both games. Brilliant versatility because he can play in multiple positions, like I say, and the fact that he can shoot from pretty much anywhere with confidence and cause the opposition a lot of trouble is brilliant, and I would love to see him get a go at Wolves. Okay, so onto the attacking midfielder of this side. It was pretty easy, to be honest. Along with Rob Dickey and Morgan Gibbs-White, one of the easiest decisions and one of the staples of this side, John Swift. Leave Reading for the sake of your career, mate, and because you're in Reading as well, so he has everything. He's been at Reading for a number of years now. He's got the most assists in the league this season with 13, and he's playing for a team in 21st place, by the way. That is pretty incredible. Already 11 goals, or he's also got 11 goals. Set piece taker. His movement on the ball is brilliant. He's just a menace, isn't he, for defenders? But he can even play as a second striker. I don't see him playing up front on his own, but if he needs to, he can play alongside Lucas João, for instance. And I think he'll do a good job, and given the fact it's a poor Reading side, they need the goals he can offer them. He could play pretty much anywhere and do a decent job in that Reading side, to be quite honest. As for the other midfielders that I considered in, no matter what type of midfielder they are, Lewis Baker, Matt Grimes, Matt Crooks, Fabio Carvalho to a point, but to be honest, he was never going to get in here. Ruben Colwell as well. Alright, so on to wingers, or basically attackers. It was quite easy for me, to be honest, to pick this one. The right hand side was slightly harder. He had to be in this team though. Honestly, I was researching Jake Cooper of Millwall, and I thought, he's got to be in this side, he's great. But then I watched Jed Wallace multiple times, and I've seen him many times already, but I watched him again and I just thought, no, he's got to be in this team, because he's just an absolute baller. Some of the long balls he plays, some of the goals he scores, absolute nuisance for players, and my god, I'd absolutely love it if he joined Forest, regardless of what division we're in. Other players I considered ahead of Wallace were Josh Bowler. I did consider Brennan to a point, but to be quite honest, if I was going to pick a Forest player, it was going to be in the defence. And Sorban Thomas really does deserve a mention as well, but ultimately I had to go for Lee Nichols in there. Well, I just realised, why is Jed Wallace at a jaunty angle? Yeah, that's better. Anyway, left wing, it was easy to pick this guy. Keane Lewis Potter. Now, when you go to a game in person, or even on telly, and you're watching your team play, not a neutral game, you don't really watch the opposition that closely, do you? Unless they've got the ball. Even then, you're probably watching your side to see what you can do better, how you're going to get the ball off them. It's rare that you watch the opposition against your team and think what a player he is, unless he scores or he's really having a good game. And Keno's Potter is one of the few players this season that I've seen play in person, and I've thought, wow, he literally scored against us, but he was a nuisance against Forest that game. And not just that game, he's constantly, whenever he gets the ball, and quite often I notice that he picks up loose balls in midfield and he just causes problems instantaneously. Even when he's not even near the goal, he's already on it. The power of his shots as well are amazing. He just absolutely hits it as hard as he can, and he normally gets it right. And this goal against Peterborough that you would have just seen was a goal that really certified him in this team. He made his England under-21s debut against Albania last week as well, and yeah, top player. And I just can't help but feel that it's another Yarrow Bowen situation here with Hull. They've got a really top player that plays in attack, and he's now going to go and leave and go to the Prem, and I just feel like it might hit Hull again. And the striker, it had to be, didn't it? Alexander Mitrovic, no good in the Premier League, but in the Championship, he's already got the most goals in a single Championship season ever, overtaking Ivan Toney's record from last year. 37 goals this season in 35 appearances. That is simply amazing, isn't it? And it's 7 assists as well. Just because why not? Why not? He can get 7 assists as well as 37 goals. It's a shame that yet again next season he'll be spending most of the time in no man's land, just waiting for balls to come up to him just to be headed away, and he'll get about 4 goals all season. But it's just what it is when you play for Fulham, isn't it? But still, what a fantastic player he is in the Championship. And really, the only other players I considered ahead of him, to be honest, or at all, Brereton Diaz, Andreas Weimann, I felt deserved a shout as well. Callum Archer, is it Callum or Cameron Archer? I think it's Cameron Archer from Preston. And Adebayo, I think, definitely deserves a shout from Luton. And does feel a little bit harsh, actually, that I haven't got a Luton player in here. So there we go. That is my Championship 11, using only 1 player per club. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. If you disagree with it, which you most likely will, if you agree with it, I want to know. Please respect my opinions, because this is actually a lot harder than it looks. It really is to do this video. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed it, then please hit the like button on it. Subscribe to Rads if you are new. It'd be vastly appreciated. We're trying to get to 3K, so please help us out. Follow my Twitter, follow my Instagram for any updates and just stupid stuff. I post a lot of good stuff on there, in my opinion, very high quality. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you very soon for Coventry City against Forest, the other way around though, because Forest are at home, on Wednesday. Thank you.